We all want to get to yes, right? With a boss, a partner, maybe a client. But what if the most important negotiation, the one that unlocks all the others, is actually with the person you see in the mirror every day? Today, we are exploring how to get to yes with yourself. And this whole journey really starts with this timeless piece of wisdom from Socrates. To change the world, first change yourself. It's the perfect way to frame what we're about to unpack because the biggest negotiations, they don't happen across a table. They happen inside our own heads. So our guide for this is William Ury. He's the co-author of what is, let's be honest, the absolute Bible of negotiation, Getting to Yes. This is a book that's helped millions of people shift from those draining win-lose battles to a much smarter win-win strategy. But Andre noticed this puzzle, and it's something we've all been through. You've read the books. You know all the strategies for a win-win. So why is it that when the pressure's on, in the heat of the moment, we still react in ways that lead to a total lose-lose result? Well, his search for that answer led him to a pretty profound realization. It turns out all the external negotiation tactics in the world just won't work without this one crucial first step. He'd basically found the missing prequel to his own life's work. And what he discovered was that the greatest obstacle to getting what you truly want in any negotiation, it's not who you think it is. It isn't the other person, no matter how stubborn or impossible they seem. The biggest obstacle is you. Yeah, you. We are our own toughest opponents, constantly reacting in ways that just sabotage our own best interests. Theodore Roosevelt put it a little more bluntly, and I absolutely love this quote. If you could kick the person in the pants responsible for most of your trouble, you wouldn't sit for a month. It's hilarious because for most of us, it's also painfully true. So if we're the problem, how do we become the solution? Well, Ury developed a process for this exact challenge. He calls it inner negotiation, and it is the key to turning that inner opponent into your most powerful ally. So what is it? At its core, inner negotiation is all about achieving what he calls inner alignment. Just think of it as getting on the same page with yourself first, way before you even try to find common ground with anybody else. Now, Ury lays out a 6-step path to get to this inner alignment. And while every single step is important, the whole process is really built on 2 foundational pillars. So for this explainer, we're going to zero in on those first 2 critical steps: understanding yourself and taking responsibility. All right, let's tackle step 1, understanding yourself. It all kicks off with the simple but really profound act of just turning your attention inward. The first huge mental shift we have to make is moving away from our default mode, which is usually self-judgment. It's all about silencing that relentless inner critic and instead really cultivating a genuine state of self-understanding. So, how do we actually do that? 3 key actions. First, go to the balcony. This is a great metaphor for mentally stepping back and just observing your own thoughts and reactions without getting all swept up in them. Second, you have to listen to your own feelings with empathy, the way you would for a good friend. And third, you've got to discover your deepest needs by repeatedly asking yourself that one simple question: why? See, when we fail to go to the balcony, that's when we fall right into what Ury calls the 3A trap. Instead of observing, our reactive brain just takes over and it pushes us to either attack the other person, accommodate by just giving in, or avoid the conflict completely. And guess what? None of those actually serve our true interests. The power of asking why is perfectly shown in a story Ury tells about Abilio Diniz, a Brazilian businessman who was locked in this bitter corporate battle. When Ury asked him what he really wanted, beyond all the money and control, Diniz dug deep and realized his core need wasn't about business at all. It was about freedom. So once you understand a deep need like that, like Diniz's need for freedom, what's next? Well, that brings us right to step 2, taking full and complete responsibility for meeting that need yourself. This is another absolutely massive mental shift. It's about moving from that victim mindset, blaming the other person, the situation, the universe, to a position of true power, where you take ownership of your life and, most importantly, your reactions. In his first book, Ury introduced the concept of a BATNA, your best alternative to a negotiated agreement. It's your plan B, basically. But here, he introduces something even more powerful, your inner BATNA. Now, this isn't some external plan. It's an internal, unconditional commitment to care for your own needs regardless of what the other person does.
It means knowing deep down that you're gonna be okay, that you will find a way to meet your needs for respect or security or freedom, even if this specific negotiation fails. That is the ultimate source of strength.
And when you combine these two foundational steps, this deep self-understanding and this radical self-responsibility, you kick off a fundamental transformation in how you approach every conflict.
You literally go from being your own worst opponent, the one who reacts impulsively and trips you up, to becoming your absolute best ally, the one who has your back, who understands your needs and is committed to meeting them, no matter what. Ultimately, getting to yes with others is just about impossible until you first get to yes with yourself. So, the next time you're facing a difficult conversation, ask yourself this: will I take a moment to negotiate with myself first?